Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar by 42Gears. I'm Prasad, working as a product specialist, and I'm a part of professional services team here at 42Gears. Thank you for joining today's webinar session. So today we will talk about Android 11. So Android 11 is a major release, 11th major release, and 18th version of Android. So first, I will walk you through the major features and settings that added in Android 11. After that, I will take you through the major challenges of updating operating system without a proper guidance. Then I will share a few ways that will help you as an IT admin to prepare your devices and update or implement it easily for Android 11. So by the end of this webinar, you will be able to leverage SureMDM to update your fleet of your devices with minimum disruption and eliminate unplanned downtime. So before we begin, I would like to request you, if you have any questions, if you get any questions, any concerns, you can post it in a question box, which is at your right-hand side of your screen. So I will answer all of those questions at the end of the session. So let's begin with the webinar. And yeah, so Android 11 is finally here. Android 11 is a 11th major release that was released on 8th September 2020. This version of Android focuses on people, control, and privacy. Therefore, it includes powerful and practical security enhancements. Initially, the update was rolled out for a limited number of devices models, including Google Pixel or latest models of Google Pixel, that is Pixel 4a and Pixel 5. Along with that, devices from OnePlus, Xiaomi, Oppo, and Realme as well. So there are plenty of features in Android 11 that will undoubtedly enhance your day-to-day experience on these platforms. So however, in today's session, I'll be focusing only on some of the top level features of Android 11. So without further any ado, let's break down some of the features. And the first one, challenges of updating operating OS. So on every after major OS update, IT admins are tasked with resolving various bugs, issues, and problems with the arises with the new release. So some of the common challenges that IT admin face are insufficient hardware, setup error and freezes, application incompatibility, data loss, and performance problems. At the end of this webinar, we will see how an MDM solution can help minimize these challenges. But now we will move on to some of the top feature highlights. So Android 11 represents everything related to productivity, management, privacy, and security. These are the cornerstones of Android 11, and some of the features of the release are work profile enhancement, greater app control, greater control over application permission, support for biometric authentication, test for compatible OS update, and improved notification panel. Let's discuss these features in detail. The first one, work profile enhancement. So improved support for work profile on company-owned devices. So here, this concept we call as a COSU, that is corporate-owned single use. So in Android 11, Google provides an improved support for work profile. So though this feature was introduced in Android 5 as a digital well-being to help users to reduce their smartphone usage, and the latest enhancement in work profile aims to provide a work balance for work balance during the COVID-19 pandemic. So employees can set their daily schedule to automatically pause work profile at the end of each working day. Whenever they want, they can disconnect. So this will enable a personal profile where they can access a personal applications only. If you can see here, there is a segregation or there's a compartment that is created in Android 11. So work profile are separated with the work column and personal applications are separated with the personal column. So Android profile has a lot of advantages. That is, first one, it helps IT admin to keep business data source secure as more and employees are using the same devices for personal use as well as for their corporate use. So it compartmentalizes the devices and marks each managed working application with a blue suitcase icon. If you can see here, I attached one screenshot in presentation. So this indicates the areas of devices that are managed and the areas of that areas that are not managed. The second one, it allows admins to retain full control over behavior of the device, so without peeping inside the personal data. Then third one, it allows IT admin to ensure that device is in compliance with the business policies, and it's a important factor, I guess. The fourth one, the work profile brings consistent management experience with the asset management capabilities on company-owned devices. Like I can give an example, that is a reset, factory reset protection, device-wide security logs, etc. In order to set up Android work profile, you need to use an MDM solution that can easily leverage an Android enterprise platform. Now, there are several methods to setting a work profile. So whenever work profile will be configured using a zero-touch enrollment method or QR code method. So for our 42Gears solution, we have a dedicated QR code method. So if you configure the devices using either QR code method or by zero-touch enrollment method, device will be considered as company-owned devices. So if you configure the device by using any other way, that device will be configured as a employee-owned devices, and that concept we call as a BYOD. So it stands for bring your own device for the corporate purpose. Let's move to the next feature, that is app permissions. So Android 11 gives a more control over privacy and security to the users than it was before. So before, however, till Android 11, once you allow these permissions for particular application, it was permanent. But for Android 11, administrator or user will be having an option that is allow this permission only for this time, allow while using only this application, or deny this permission all the time. So admin can choose either grant one time, admin can choose either deny or only this time. So if application is not used, application has not been used for a few months, administrator can automatically disable the permission. So it will need to request them again. So for every time user will launch the application, user has to allow the permission. So that feature we called as the auto reset feature. It will automatically reset the permission which was granted. That permission might be for a location, it might be for a mic, and it might be to access your contacts available on the device. However, in COVID-19 pandemic in India, we have banned a Chinese application, and for such application, if you want to use the same application, we can allow the permission if there is a security concern. So let's move to the next feature, that is a biometric authentication. So improved authentication, I can say. Biometric is an important authentication method when it comes to maintaining a high level of data security. It helps in minimizing shoulder surfing attacks where hacker tries to reproduce a PIN pattern or a password whenever you are entering on your phone. He might observe that actions, and he might guess your PIN or password. So to overcome this issue, with Android 11, Google has improved identity and security features involving business applications. Now, admin will be able to use biometric prompt API to determine biometric strength level if they are weak or strong. So for your particular work application, suppose if your device is in a BYOD mode or employee-owned device, in that case, you can put your biometric authentication for your work application. So your work data or your corporate data will be always more secure than the usual data. The next security feature that I'm going to explain is OS update. So sometimes IT admin face a very common challenge after OS update, that is apps stop functioning however they were working before the update. So Android 11 has solved this challenge by introducing a new tool called testing and debugging apps against the behavior change. So now developer can test compatibility before updating their application to the new OS. So in order to determine which new OS behavior might pose a problem, developer can view this change and test them, and then can publish. As everyone knows, there is a feature called postpone update with 42Gears solution as well. So you can postpone these updates for next 90 days. And in between that, you can review this new OS update on few of the devices before you push on all the production devices. Now let's shift our focus to a new feature, that is a notification panel. It's an improved notification panel. It is simpler and easier to understand, and refined notification panel allows you to have more control over notification. This makes notification panel more simpler, easier to understand, and by marking certain conversation as a priority, admin can enable priority conversation setting in a conversation specific section. It means that you can mark your conversation according to the priorities. I mean, bubbles or a smart notification which are appearing on your lock screen or on your notification panel, you can prioritize. Additionally, Android 11 adds a bubble floating notification at the top of the application, enabling user to keep track of next conversation while doing a multitasking. So doing a multitasking with the phone is a common thing, and that's why Android 11 has come up with this smart notification panel. So there is an additional feature that you can manage your notification whenever device will be in do not disturb mode as well. So this is the best thing, I think. Now we have discussed all of the features, and I think we should shift our focus on the next session, that is ways to carefully prepare and implement Android 11 update using 42Gears solution, that is SureMDM. Now you might be wondering how you can leverage 42Gears SureMDM to prepare for an OS update and ensure that it is implemented without any hiccups. Being an MDM vendor, 42Gears helps its customer by providing required permission using Knox and other UZM platforms or other OEM signature platforms, device owner APIs, or by displaying onboard screen, which can help customer to grant permission related to Android 11. So while onboarding any new device to the SureMDM, as soon as device creates an entry into SureMDM screen, if you can see, there will be a list of the devices that you are onboarding in SureMDM solution. So on that device itself, you can take a remote support of the device and you can observe the permissions, or you can get the permissions over the air. So with MDM vendors like 42Gears, you can choose to apply updates immediately. You can delay it. You can apply it within a certain time, or you can schedule at a suitable time. So using this option, you can do a pilot test of a new Android 11 before pushing it to your production. So apply updates immediately. This option can be used whenever there will be important security features or patches. However, recently we got it for Android devices. Like that update, if that update is more important, if that update has a lot of security features, we can push that update as immediately. So without thinking of other issues and other concerns, we should push that update. Then other option that we can get it's a delay for specific duration. So this option prevents automatically software update from pushing out of devices up to 90 days. So this is a limitation from Google again. So we can push the update for next 90 days, and we can validate this update on 2 or 3 devices before we push on production. So we'll come to know that what is the performance metrics, what is the issues and instability of the applications on the new OS version, and if we can fix on that, then you can decide to push the same update on all the devices. Then the third option will get admins can, IT administrator can schedule the update feature. So he can check what is the non-working day, which is the non-working day, or which is the non-working time for my employees. And I want to update Android 11 on those devices whenever devices are not working. So it will reduce your downtime of your devices. Now let's take a look at a few things that you can keep in mind, or to just minimize the device disruptions, or you can eliminate unplanned downtime after the update. So before pushing any update to a large number of devices that are already in field, we recommend validate it on 2 or 3 devices, or like a few devices. That is a pilot test we can call. So pilot test must be run along with the applications recommended by the 42Gears team. Sometimes pilot tests differ from different OEM vendors, such as they might have different firmware burn on those devices, like due to the Android fragmentation. Make sure everything is granted on permission checklist for SureMDM or for 42Gears application. So these terms you should remember at the time of any pilot test as well. So whatever application I just explained to you during this webinar, I will demonstrate to you on our application or on our solution. So this is our 42Gears SureMDM application, or 42Gears solution home screen, where you can see I have enrolled one Android 11 device. So if you can see, I have enrolled the device as a profile owner. It means that this device is enrolled as a employee-owned devices. It means it is in BYOD. So for this device, the first feature that we discussed, like improved notification panel. So along with the SureMDM, we came up with a new platform that is Astroform, where we can manage the devices over the air just to avoid the limitation for work from home during the COVID-19 pandemic. So here, if I push the notification panel from the top, it will show you the smart notification panel, and you can see you can prioritize your notifications. Then the next part is enhancement in work profile. So if I see all the application, you'll find a segregation between your personal application and your work application. So work application will be showcased with the icon of suitcase, and yeah, there will be a difference between your personal data and your corporate data. So there will be a bridge, you can say. Then if you can see, we can manage the OS update using SureMDM solution on your Android devices. So you have to click on profiles. You have to just create, either you can create a new profile or you can modify the already created profile. I'll click on system setting, and if I click on configure, you can see all of those options like update system update policy. So if you click on this, you'll get three options. Either it should be pushed automatically, like as soon as it is available, it should be pushed on the device. If I click on windowed, you can set the non-working time of your employees. In between that non-working time, this update should be installed on your devices. And the third option is postpone. In case if you want to validate the same OS update on few of the devices, then you can postpone, and you can allow it on only 2 or 3 devices just for pilot run test. Then improved notifications on Android devices. So suppose one moment. Suppose I want to allow a location permission on my application, or if I'm using any application. One moment, let me get into the settings. Yes. So if I click on personal application, I'll click on settings. So this is the Pixel 3 device which is enrolled in my console. I'll click on notification. And here, if I want to apply the permission for our 42Gears SureMDM Nix agent, it's showing me these 4 options. Either allow the permission all the time, either allow only while using the application, it should ask every time whenever we launch the application, or it should deny all the time. So this is the improvement that Google has done for Android 11. So either administrator can select which is the right permission for their devices, or user can select depending on the data security. If the data is, data security is a more concern for the organization, you can select the permission that is asked every time. Now it's time to answer the questions that were submitted during the session. So let me check on that. So I got one question that how accurately it works. So we validated this. If you're asking about SureMDM solution on Android 11, we validated these devices in our platform, in our environment, and it's working absolutely accurate. So yes. The next question I got: what happens if you enable the permission only for that particular application? Yes. So if I'm allowing this permission only for SureMDM Nix agent or only for that individual application, it will allow access of location, or it will allow access of microphone only for that individual application, any other third-party application cannot access the permission and cannot access the location or microphone on that device. Thank you for your time. I appreciate your patience. Have a good day, sir.